Nanook Lodge. This week's episode is about something special you can do with your leftover turkey. Last week I showed you how to make this beautiful rolled turkey breast as an inspiration for something different for Thanksgiving. And at Thanksgiving there's always leftover turkey. There's tons of things you can do with it, but one of my favorite things to do is to make turkey wild rice soup. It's pretty simple, but it turns out really nice and it's kind of elegant in some ways. It uses wild rice, which is a grain that comes from northern Minnesota and Canada. Traditionally, it was harvested by Native Americans in their canoes. They would, beat the rice into their canoes. Now it's cultivated and still harvested wild, but it's a beautiful black, long grain that really adds some elegance to a soup. And so today, I want to show you all about it. The reason I chose this soup is because it reminds me of my childhood. It used to be a special thing and a treat for us to get chicken wild rice soup. And it's just such a wonderful, comforting, hearty meal. You can eat the soup just as a meal. And so that's what I love to turn Thanksgiving turkey into. Let's talk about what we use for the soup. As with a lot of soups or stews, the basics is carrots, onions, celery, right? We're gonna saute that in a little bit of butter, and then we're gonna use some flour to make a roux. Separately, we're gonna cook the wild rice in chicken stock so that when it goes into the soup, it's absorbed a lot of its water that it needs to. We're gonna have a little white wine in there. We're gonna use a little bit of thyme and sage for herb flavoring. We're gonna finish it with a little bit of pepper, and we're gonna make it a little bit more elegant even by adding just a little bit of half and half and make it nice and creamy. Here we have everything prepped and ready to go for the soup. I diced the carrots and onions and celery into quarter-inch to half-inch dice. So not tiny, but not huge bites either. I diced up the leftover turkey. We've got the wild rice ready to go and cook in its chicken stock. With the butter and the flour measured for the roux. We've got the salt, pepper, sage, and thyme ready to go. I'm gonna deglaze it with a little white wine. We've got the half and half and the stock for making the soup. So let's go to the stove and start putting it all together. We're gonna start by melting the butter. Once that begins to start melting, we can add our vegetables. We're going to saute those vegetables until they just start to get tender, because they'll cook more when we add the stock. You can see I added just a little bit of the chicken stock after the wine so we can stir that around and help the vegetables make sure that it doesn't get lumpy. There, now I've added about half the stock. We're going to continue to just let that mix through, eliminate all the lumps from the roux, and then we'll get it back up to a good simmer. Soup's been cooking for a little bit. I turned it down to low. We're going to add the cooked wild rice. Here we've got a lovely creamy turkey wild rice soup. Thanks for tuning in to Cooking at Nanook Lodge. I hope that you enjoy your turkey wild rice soup. Enjoy creating your own memories